Hello friends, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. And in this Python video tutorial series, today we will learn about web application. First, let's understand web application. So a user opens a browser on his mobile or laptop or any device and hit a URL. So that URL in turn calls a server for response, and server process the request and send back a response, and browser renders the response. So in a way, request came to server, server processed the request and sent back a response. But in this modern age of technology, user opens a browser and hit a URL. Now the server is divided into two parts, front end and back end. Front end is what handles the user interface, calls the back end and do the stuff, while back end in turn contact with database and any other third party things, and there it process the request, send back a response. Based on the back end's response, front end generates a view and send it to the user, and user can interact with that view. So with this modern technology, front end can be written in React and back end can be written in Python or Java or any programming language. Python web application can be built on three major frameworks: Flask, Django and Fast API. However, Fast API is mostly used for API development, while Django and Flask is used for web application. So in this video, we will understand basics of Flask. So let's get started. I am inside a folder where I want to write a code. Here, I'll open terminal. I'll click on Alt since my menu is hidden. I'll go to terminal and new terminal. Here I'll navigate to the folder where I want to write the code. Now I will create a new virtual environment. The use of virtual environment here is to separate all the Python packages from other environment. So this project requires some packages, other project requires some other packages, or even if there is a possibility that two different projects requires same package of different version. So for that, it is advisory to use virtual environment whenever you work with Python. So here I'll use Python -m venv. Here -m stands for module. My module name is venv and my virtual environment name is venv. Make sure you are in the right folder where you want to create this virtual environment. So I'll hit enter. You can see here it has created a virtual environment. I'll source my interpreter from this virtual environment, and for that I'll go to virtual environment bin and activate. Now you can see I am inside my virtual environment. Let me clear the screen. The first thing we need to install Flask package. For that I'll use pip install, I'll say Flask. I'll hit enter and this will install all the dependency to run a Flask application. This small warning just says that there is upgradation in pip version. You can do it using this command, and I'll do that as well. Here in my folder, I'll create a new file, app.py. Let me clear the screen. Now I'll go to my browser. I'll search for Flask app demo. There is a paletteprojects.com quick start. I'll go there. And you can see there is a minimal Flask application. So I'll copy that. I'll come here and I'll paste this. Don't worry about the code. I'll explain everything. So we are using Flask. So from Flask I have imported Flask class. This Flask class takes a file name that is main. I can write main here or name here. When you print underscore underscore name underscore underscore, you will get a string main. So this is my app. Now this app has a route slash, that means home route. This home route means whenever you open application, you will see this home route. I'll rename a function to home and I'll return at this point just OK and 200. Let me run the file Python app. Yeah, the file ran successfully, but it did not show any results. And before I do that, let me select the interpreter. So my interpreter is, let me select the path of interpreter. Yeah, let me see the Python version. Yeah, Python 3.9.12. Let me clear the screen. Now you can see that our code ran, but it did not start the server. For that, I'll do if the name of the file is underscore underscore main app dot run. App has a method run which starts the local development server. It will take a couple of arguments, host, a port, and we can leave it as it is, but I'll use debug equals to true. That means whenever I do a small modification in file, it will be detected and the server will auto reload itself. So let me save this, and when now I run the app.py, we will see that a server is running and it says that warning, this is a development server, do not use it for production deployment. In production we use different servers like Gunicon, and it is a kind of not a complex point, but it's a further advanced point. So when you learn few things about Python and Flask, you will see that you understand that clearly. So let me click on this and you can see that we got OK response. That means our application is running. Let me create another route, app dot route. This time I'll say slash contact us. Here I'll define a function called contact underscore us. The function just immediate to this app.route annotation will be run whenever this route is called. Here at this point I'll return OK and 200 status. I think there is some, I'm not sure what's the problem. Def yeah, it misses the parenthesis. So you can see when I saved the file, the server was auto reloaded and it says that detected change in this file. Now if I go here and if I say contact us, we see OK, but I think this is not a very useful thing. Let's just render an HTML. Let's just render a HTML page. For that, what we need to do, we need to create a folder inside my root directory. I'll say templates. Inside the templates, I'll create a new file, home.html, and let me quickly grab HTML boilerplate code. So here it is. Let me copy that somewhere. Yeah, this is a boilerplate code. Let me copy this. I'll come here, I'll paste it here. Let me refresh this. And I don't want this thing. I don't want this thing. I'll say h1 tag home page. Let me change the title of it as well, home page. When I save it, I'll go to my app.py. I'll import another method, render template. Now if we go to Flask documentation, there is render template. Let me search directly, render underscore template. Yeah, render underscore template. So in order to use this render underscore template, you can see here you need to create a templates folder. Inside that you can have your HTML file, and you can then use this render template method and provide the name of the file. You don't have to provide the full path. So let me come here, let me just rename this in case it was not right. And here I'll use render template and I'll say home.html. Here when I save it, you see the server reloaded. And if I go here and let me remove this contact us part, and if I run this, you'll see HTML page is rendered and we can see home page. I hope this information is valuable to you and you have gained some out of this video. If you face any issue running this part of the code, then please use the comment section of this video. I'll get back to you. And if you like my work, please consider subscribing to my channel. It helps. Thank you for watching. Peace.